right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for taking some time out for the webinar today. Very excited about it. LBMC has been a very valuable partner of ours over the many years that we've been delivering our payroll, HR, and filing solutions. So glad to walk folks through some of the advantages, some of the benefits that you can get from our new unified payroll and HR platform. Hopefully you'll get an idea after the session about how we can simplify payroll, help empower employee self-service, employee engagement, and then reduce some hard and soft costs as it relates to payroll. As for the agenda today, I just want to provide everyone here a quick introduction on myself, also the organization as well. And from there, we'll provide some background on Payroll HCM, the new platform, and how we can simplify payroll and empower employees. And then last but not least, we will address some questions that may pop up during the session. Please direct those to Sarah via chat, since everyone's muted today. As far as myself, my name is John Osberger. I'm a regional account executive here at Greenshades Software. I have been just with the organization since January, but I have been in business software and technology sales for going on 15 plus years now. I do support our partners here in the Southeast and then their clients as well. So it could be folks from around the country along with that. And in a previous professional life, I actually was in retail sales and operations management, had some pretty interesting clients I worked with. As you can see from the some of those samples, you can probably guess where I went to college, and also worked in a state capital as well. So met with some interesting folks today. Now, as far as Greenshades itself, some of the people on the webinar today are familiar with Greenshades, with the organization, and what we've been doing over the years. But for those unfamiliar, we provide cloud-based payroll, HR, taxation, and compliance solutions. We do focus on providing solutions for companies that process payroll in-house so that their payroll processes themselves are as efficient and as compliant as possible. We have been doing this since the early 2000s, and our over 4,000 clients rely on us to proactively keep pace with regulatory changes from the federal down to the local levels, and really sweat the small stuff so they can focus on more strategic concerns. As far as what we provide, we essentially have three primary areas of focus. Since day one of Greenshades Software, we've delivered tools to simplify filings, to help organizations be more compliant. This covers payroll tax reporting with W-2s, quarterlies, new hire returns, as mentioned, from the federal to the state down to the local levels. And then we also can help with some of the more payroll adjacent requirements, such as your 1095s, your 1099s, 1042s, EEO reporting, BLS reporting. So, wide variety of reporting support for our clients. Core to our employee self-service is driving engagement, driving that self-service with employees, from automated new hire onboarding to pay stub and W-2 access to time management, benefit self-service, including open enrollment. And those two core focuses actually bring us to the culmination of the decades of experience, which is what we're going into detail today, and that is with our Payroll HCM platform. So Payroll HCM can not only streamline the payroll process, but the solution also incorporates that value we've been delivering clients with the suite of solutions over the many years, all in a single platform, all in a single interface. So as far as addressing payroll, a lot of folks are curious why payroll is a popular topic, even when companies have specific systems, specific processes in place. Well, if employees afforded more flexibility with where they work, with when they work, and then web-based applications becoming the professional and personal standard, of course, longstanding payroll systems just aren't keeping pace with the modern workplace today. Additionally, many payroll teams still do rely on manual processes, even with systems and tools in place. So even when overseen by very experienced payroll personnel, can be time-consuming, can be at risk for evolving compliance needs. In addition to that, and even in environments where you have tools in place, you may be dealing with multiple siloed processes that just don't get to the core of process inefficiencies. And then last but not least, some ERPs and accounting systems do have their native payroll and HR modules or processes, but they do tend to lean towards being more of a checklist item, and they tend to sacrifice user friendliness and just overall logical workflows. So outsourcing payroll is obviously very common today. Why would an organization want to keep it or actually bring it back in-house? Some companies, they just don't want to sacrifice control, and they are generally fearful about leaving something as vital as payroll entirely in the hands of a third-party outsourced payroll provider. Also interested in having a bit more flexibility, a bit more responsiveness with ad hoc tasks such as special pay runs for bonuses, handling separated employees, needing to do some revised pay runs as well. There's also going to be a variety of cost of money disadvantages with outsourced payroll. Typically, the recurring and the non-recurring costs will be a bit higher with outsourced payroll solutions compared to in-house payroll. And even by offloading, payroll tasks from, your team to that outsourced payroll provider, you still may not be seeing that ROI that you were projected prior to making that transition. On top of that, there actually is going to be potential for additional costs through multiple pay runs, added pay runs, changes in pay run schedules, or even expanded access to topics such as reporting, because they're not accounted for as far as that core service offering that folks are paying for. And then with outsourced payroll, you're also immediately funding paychecks, immediately funding liability payments regardless of disbursement or due dates. So what you're doing is you're actually shifting the financial benefits of taking advantage of float from your company to the payroll provider themselves. And then with still an inherent amount of time and effort needed with in-house labor, in-house efforts, companies still are discovering that they're not really seeing the benefits that they've been promised with their outsourced payroll solutions. So with Greenshades, you can actually address those specific areas of opportunity with payroll through an in-house solution. And our approach is actually based on 3 key pillars. The first is that you are not only a payroll and HR platform that provides you the elevated control and flexibility at lower costs that you expect with an in-house solution, but it is a cloud-based solution. So we can help you leverage modern workflows, help you leverage the auto updates that you're going to see with web-based solutions, and then the regular enhancements that are going to be automated by going through a web portal. And then it's also ERP agnostic. So we will work with the ERP that you have today and also what you might have in place tomorrow. So whether you are on GP, SL, Business Central, Intacct today, potentially making a change to one of those platforms down the road, your payroll is going to be future-proof. And then the 3 key pillar of what we're doing is that it is a unified solution in experience that supports not only the payroll and HR teams, but can also drive that employee self-service and engagement and provide a lot of value to the to your clients, the employees that you support on a daily basis. So with Payroll HCM, payroll process improvements will begin with just overall simplifications. And what we're doing from day one is driving those employee self-service capabilities that can capture individual employee tax and benefit information the moment that they're going to join the company. And then throughout the pay run, when you're running payroll, there's going to be a step-by-step wizard to walk you through that actual payroll process with confidence. So whether you are moving forward to the next step within the pay run, or allowing you to take a step back to make needed additions, needed updates throughout the process. Payroll HCM can provide a very consistent and simple user experience to the payroll and HR staff. And then we can also help improve just overall visibility into payroll. This is going to be driven not only by a number of reporting features, but also by our at-a-glance dashboard. Within the dashboard, you have single-click features to start a pay run, pick up on a pay run where you left off, view historical pay runs, and then even execute specific actions like special pay run, the check voiding, handling, separated employees, any sort of updates needed to address previous pay runs as well. So from this payroll home dashboard, you get your very quick jumping off point to get the data that you need for the future. And then, as mentioned before, compliance has been very core to our company since day one. And it is actually one of the primary reasons that our clients work with us, because they want to leverage our expertise in the area. Usually when we're speaking with folks that come to us for, for deeper discussions on payroll, one of the things that they bring up is they don't want to, leave anything short as far as compliance. They want to make sure that they have all their bases covered, and we can definitely help with that. So regardless of whether you operate and employ locally or nationally, we can properly assign taxes. We can manage multiple jurisdictions, state reciprocity, to help you, properly execute your various payroll tax returns. And then there's even an option to provide alerts and reminders on filing and payment due dates to automate payroll even further. Very helpful with our clients that do have to take into account local withholding taxes. Some key states, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, there's a wide variety of returns and payments that have to be made on a regular basis. And we can help folks better manage those situations. And then we can also make the payroll run painless through a variety of other proactive features. That includes automated tax code assignment and earning code application, notification on potential areas, data that might need a second look. We can even help support views into employee work hour deviation to address any sort of concerns as far as employee time and earnings prior to that payroll run being executed. And then mentioned it earlier, as far as ERP agnostic, very important today, because we do understand that more so in the past, companies are considering what their future path may be for their ERP. So with that, Payroll HCM is fully agnostic. We can help ensure that we'll support whatever that ERP direction may be moving forward. So again, whether you're maintaining GP for the long term, considering a migration to a platform like Intacct or Business Central in the future, or in the process of migrating today, we can help with whatever your payroll challenges are going to be right now, and then also what they may be in the future as well. Of course, every company is unique as far as how they manage payroll, as far as their processes, as far as the variables that need to be considered. So we definitely want to make sure that you have a payroll process, a payroll solution that is flexible to meet your individual, your specific demands, from simple on-screen configurations to granular employee management to tailored HR codes. We can help provide that simple, tailored experience. Most importantly, though, this key payroll and HR data is going to be persistent across the platform. So you can spend less time on tasks like data collection, manual entry, data verification, and an end result is going to be a much more streamlined payroll process. And then at the conclusion of the pay run, you'll have what we call a post-flight checklist. You're going to see a snapshot of the actions you've taken, details on additional steps needed to execute that payroll run relevant to the policies, procedures, the laws that are in place. And so we can, again, cover all the steps that most payroll professionals know, but do it in a very efficient manner, ensure compliance, and then also provide all the pay run specific reporting that is going to be needed for the future. And then back to what was mentioned previously, as part of a unified platform, we can handle those annual and quarterly tax filings, including unemployment, withholding, new hire returns, And then also within all of our reporting solutions, there are going to be review and edit functionality throughout the process. So for our clients, they do have that full control over the reporting, again, to ensure that high level of compliance with the specific government agencies that they're sending their returns to. And then I've talked a few times about providing a universal, unified approach. And then that is going to continue with the employee portal. So we're not just helping the payroll and HR team, we're helping the employees throughout the organization as well. Employees can take advantage of the access and the engagement that I've already mentioned, whether pulling up their pay stub information, grabbing their W-2s for their own filings, clocking in, clocking out, or even reviewing new company communication and completing required HR documentation, whether during the onboarding process or ongoing as an employee of the organization. And then by delivering this level of employee access, employees are encouraged, they're empowered to handle self-service of HR tasks, ranging from profile information updates to benefit enrollment and changes. And then by offering those options to do so through web browser or through apps for your iPhone, for your Android, employees are really going to be more likely to take advantage because they can interact with the platform and whatever is easiest or preferred by them. End result is that employees are going to be more independent, and HR is going to spend quite a bit less time on some of those administrative tasks that employees are taking ownership over. And then I know we're kind of approaching that time of year, but the year-end processing time can be a pretty stressful time for payroll and HR in general. So with Payroll HCM being that unified platform, Greenshades can transform this into a step-by-step process that walks you through those critical to-do items, plus provide true turnkey form processing services like print and mail. So we can handle that part of the business for you. We can handle the printing of the forms. We can handle the mailing. We can send them to the organization to individually disperse. We can send them directly out to the employees themselves, whatever makes the most amount of sense for that specific filing for each organization. And then a major factor in our average client having a tenure of over 11 years is going to be our superior support. So we have a very diverse array of services and support levels. We have premium concierge, client dedicated levels, all provided by in-house experts, And we don't actually provide what some folks would consider tier 1 support at Greenshades. When people call in, when they interact with a support representative, it's going to be what would be considered tier 2 or tier 3, which is a support representative that can actually help. So we don't take messages, pass along to someone else that can help. When you work with a support rep at Greenshades, you're working with someone who can help you actually solve the problem. Alrighty, so I guess that's just a quick rundown of the platform. Hopefully, y'all got a good idea of how we can help streamline that payroll process. Help provide just a more efficient way to help manage payroll and HR. At this point, I'm going to see if there are any questions from the group. Sarah, have any filtered into you?
No, I don't see any questions yet. Please feel free to submit them now, and we'll be glad to. John will be glad to answer any questions.
Yeah, and just I know a typical question that we get as far as the the model itself, because there's a lot of variety of models out there that people see when talking with outsourced payroll solutions, when just kind of comparing what they have in place today. We have a very simple model. We have a variety of packages to choose from. It's a pure per employee per month model. We're not going to add additional costs as far as how many states you operate in, how many EINs do you have, which specific features of an employee self-service module do you need. We've got like 4 different packages. It's just a matter of, do you just want to attack the key payroll processing, or do you need some additional HR components? And then do you want us to leverage, you want to leverage us for, like a time entry solution. From there, we recommend a package. And then for folks that move forward, we don't have upfront implementation costs. For us, we just consider that a cost of doing business under our per employee per month model. So you don't have those huge capital outlays up front. And we obviously will take ownership of the implementation until we consider a client graduated. And then that's going to continue as a client owns the solution as well. So if there is a change within ERP, whether an ERP upgrade that affects perhaps maybe the general ledger, or if there's a change from GP to Business Central, just as being providing that solution to you on an ongoing basis, we will handle the services on the back end to make sure that we support whatever that ERP looks like moving forward. So a very simple model compared to what folks are traditionally used to. Additionally, we do all understand that folks will employ potentially a wide variety of HR solutions on their end, and we do have some flexibility to support whatever might be in place as well. So we handle those things primarily on a case-by-case basis, but we do work with some of the more popular HR platforms that are out there as well that folks are happy with. They don't want to make a change, but they do want to make improvements with payroll, so we can kind of work with them on that as well.
Great, thanks, John. We do have a question about specifically the cost and the assurance on the compliance piece, and then also how this payroll solution integrates with Sage Intacct.
Gotcha. So as far as cost, as mentioned, we've got 4 different packages that are available. It's really going to depend, again, on what your interest is. Are you just looking to address the payroll topic, or are you looking for some more HR functionality as well? As far as the compliance piece, basically, we give you the flexibility to create those returns, make the edits that are consistent with what you need to do from a compliance standpoint. Once you submit those returns through Greenshades, basically it's inherently our responsibility to handle those filings that you've asked us for. So it's extremely rare that something pops up to where there are compliance questions, but in a situation where you've submitted to us and the onus is on us, then we will take ownership on that. But it's something that very rarely happens just because of the solution that we can provide on your end. As far as with Sage Intacct, basically the way it works is you would actually use Greenshades as the owner for payroll and HR management. And then when we complete the payroll process, you would just submit a file to Sage Intacct to the GL. And then we do work with our clients during the implementation process to make sure that the GL mapping is accurate. We do understand that, not everyone is a GL expert. So we'll make sure that upfront that everything is formatted, 100% before going live with payroll. So I hope that answered the questions.
Yep, okay. All right, I don't see any other questions. Okay.
All righty. Well, I think we're coming up to 11:30. So sure, I don't have to tell y'all who your account managers are at LBMC. I've had the opportunity to work with all of them in addition to other folks at LBMC as well. So if you have any questions for follow-up, deeper discussions, conversations, just a better understanding of your processes, your needs, to see if there's potentially a fit, just route it through Lisa, Ashley, or Debbie, and love to have a conversation with y'all. And hope everyone has a great day moving forward.
Thank you, everyone, for attending today's presentation, and have a great day.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
And thank you, John.
Oh, and I'll also I'll be working with Sarah to provide you a just a copy of the presentation for y'all to have moving forward.